Alright, listen up. There are fights that are coming up that nobody's really talking about, and it's criminal how under the radar it is. Cory Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo is happening this Saturday. And let me tell you something, alright? I am hyped for this one. I know everyone's locked into the co-main event too, and don't worry, I'll have a video on that tomorrow. But this fight right here, this is for the sickos, the hardcore fans who actually know what's up. And when I look around, man, a lot of people are automatically picking Cory the Sandman to win. And look, man, I get it. He's tall, he's rangy, technical, he's been a top guy for years. But let's be real, the betting odds are super disrespectful towards Figgy. People are forgetting how good Deiveson Figueiredo actually is. I'm not saying that Sandhagen's automatically losing. Nah, it's a competitive fight. It can go either way. But Figgy is a dog, man. We saw it against the Peter Yan fight. And honestly, if we're keeping it a buck, Figgy arguably had more success against Yan than Cory did. Not to bore you with some MMA math, but facts are facts. And bro, go rewatch those fights and you'll see it clear as day. Another thing that nobody's really mentioning, this fight is basically a title eliminator. The winner's probably going to get Merab next. And honestly, I'm good with either matchup. Both styles are chaos against Merab's pressure. People keep talking about Cory's size advantage and it's like it's going to be a blowout. He's too tall, too long, Figgy's too small. Yeah. Where was all this when Cory fought Umar? Where was all this when he fought Yan? Size doesn't mean everything, man, especially in this fight like this. And now keep it real, man. Cory's wrestling advantage is legit. His frame definitely helps when he wants to mix it up. But Figgy can grapple too, man. He's stocky, and Cory tends to struggle dragging down the shorter, powerful guys. He can't just bully them like that. That's why I think this fight is way more competitive than people are acting like. It's not just gonna be Cory snapping jabs, styling for 5 rounds. Figgy's gonna make this a real fight. I'm telling you, man. With all that being said, let's actually start breaking this fight down. And first up, let's talk about where I think Figgy can have some real success against Cory, starting with the striking. Now, obviously, if you're just looking at it from a distance, yeah, Cory's got the height, the reach, the footwork, the volume, and on paper, it's easy just to assume that he's gonna pick Figgy apart from the outside. But that's only if you don't really watch Figgy's fights, because Figgy's not some slow, plodding, one-shot brawler like people act. He's calculated, he's explosive, and he's sneaky good at crashing the pocket when he wants to. One of the biggest things that Figgy does well is catch guys in mid-exchanges. He baits you into throwing first, then countering with a hard power shot right as you exit. And you know what? Cory has shown that he's hittable when he's exiting exchanges. Go back and watch the Peter Yan fight. Go back and watch the TJ Dillashaw fight. Cory sometimes leaves his chin high or exits straight backwards after combos. And if Figgy times one of those moments, especially early with his power, that is dangerous. He could absolutely clip Cory and change the whole momentum of that fight. Another thing too, Figgy's body work is seriously underrated. He rips to the body hard, hooks, crosses, shovels, punches, and that's one of the best ways to slow down a long raging mover like Sandhagen. You hit the body, you take the legs out, you take the gas tank away. And if you start getting Cory to hesitate because he's worried about the body shots, suddenly his movement isn't as free anymore. He's standing there just a little bit longer. And when Figgy can start lining up those big overhands and countering upstairs, that's scary. And that's when Figgy can start lining up those big overhands and countering upstairs. Also, Figgy's calf kicks. People forget he's nasty with the low kicks when he leans on them. If he can attack Cory's lead leg early, especially because Cory uses a very bladed light stance, it can disturb the rhythm. Cory needs to stick and move. And Yan has some success with that too. It's just that Figgy throws them with more bad intentions. Now look, I understand that Cory can absolutely have some success on the feet too. I'm not sitting here pretending like Figgy's just gonna walk him down with no problem. Cory's a technician, man. He's smooth, he's layered, and he's super good at controlling the tempo of the fight. If Figgy comes out wild or starts chasing too much, Cory's gonna snipe him from the outside all night. Sharp jab, check hook, leg kick, just clean work from the range without taking big risk. And one of Cory's biggest weapon is his shot selection, man, and his feints. He's consistently giving you something to think about. Little fakes, little hand traps, switch stance. He's brilliant at freezing guys for just half a second. And at this level, half a second is all he needs to get off a clean shot and bounce out of danger. Another thing is volume, man. Cory doesn't just throw one shot and wait. He builds combinations. He touches you with a jab, pivots out, lands a kick to the calf, comes back with a simple straight right, and it's frustrating to deal with. If Figgy gets stuck biting on too many feints, he could get outpointed. And look, man, let's be real. Cory's used to fighting longer fights at a super high pace. Even if Figgy lands early or has his moments, Cory's the guy that's going to keep scoring over and over again. It's death by 1,000 touches. You don't even realize that you're losing rounds until you're down 3 rounds to 0. But that's just the striking side of things. If we're talking about the grappling, man, it gets even more interesting, because here's the thing. On paper, Cory is supposed to have the grappling advantage, right? He's taller, longer, he's gotten good top control when he gets it. He works a lot of mixing and takedowns lately, especially to control the tempo of his fights. And look, I do think if Cory's able to get a clean entry, like time a takedown off a Figgy blitz or catch him slipping during an exchange, he could definitely put Figgy on his back, especially because Figgy sometimes leaves himself a little heavy on that lead leg when he's planning to throw power shots. That's an opening for Cory to shoot underneath or trip him off balance. If Cory does get on top, that's a big win for him. He's got a really good positioning awareness. He's not necessarily some crazy submission artist, but he's great at riding guys, controlling the wrist, landing those little shots to just rack up time and frustrate you. And more importantly, it would just make Figgy work and make him scramble, make him burn more gas. Especially if Cory is smart about it. It doesn't force ground and pound too hard, just maintain the position, stack some control time. It's the kind of thing that can really pay off later in the fight when fatigue starts to kick in. But here's where it gets a bit tricky. Figgy's grappling is a little underrated, man. Like, yeah, we think of him as this knockout guy, but he's a black belt in BJJ for a reason. He's strong as hell too. He's explosive. If he gets a double underhook or a strong grip on you, he can reverse position really quick. You're not just gonna ride Figgy easily unless you're seriously top control specialist. And Cory, while he's good, he's not Aljamain Sterling when it comes to the mat returns and control grappling. Also, if Figgy gets on top of himself, he's dangerous. He's got nasty ground and pound. He postures up and rips big hammer fists and elbows. He's not that guy that's just gonna play it safe, with jiu-jitsu. He's looking to hurt you on the ground. And another thing, Figgy's scrambling ability is legit. When guys take him down, he doesn't just accept it. He fights hands, he's explosive backing up, he throws up sweet sometimes, and if Cory shoots sloppy or overextend, trying to ride him on too long, there's definitely a world where Figgy scrambles, creates scrambles, and ends up in a dominating position himself. And honestly, Figgy's best grappling path might not even be by a formal takedown, it's the clinch exchanges. Short, powerful bursts in the clinch, snap downs, dirty boxing, maybe even dragging Cory down off a kick. That stocky frame, that's built perfectly for short range attacks, where you don't need to shoot from a double leg, you just need to pull and dump. So if I'm gonna be real here, I'm leaning Figgy, and it's not some random gut feeling either. I think the explosiveness and power advantage, that's gonna be the big difference, because at the end of the day, Figgy doesn't need to win every second of the round. He just needs a couple of big moments. All he needs is one clean shot each round to switch the momentum. He doesn't have to outpace Cory for 25 minutes. Damage trumps everything under the scoring rules, and I think that's a huge factor in this fight that favors Figgy. One big counter, one big body shot, one scramble, where he lands a hard shot. It could be enough to edge rounds, even if Cory is throwing more overall. And I'm not saying that Cory can't win. Cory absolutely can win if he keeps it clean, high volume, stay super disciplined the whole time. He's got the tools to touch Figgy up, frustrate him, and maybe even drown him if he becomes late in the cardio battle. But I just think Figgy's power, his timing, and his ability to create chaos give Cory way more problems than people are expecting. I think it's going to be close, it's going to be competitive, but I'm riding with Figgy to land the bigger, cleaner, and more damaging shots and steal the fight. This one's way closer than the odds say, man, and no matter what happens, this fight has fight of the night written all over it.